Hi, I'm Rachel and this is Rachel's Rustics. Welcome or welcome back. Today I have 2 farmhouse DIYs for you that are fall themed. If that's something you like to see, please stick around. Let's get into it.
Hello, hello. Wasn't that cute? My son was helping me do my intro. Alright, so today I have a couple fall themed DIYs. Now this is a little canvas that I have. I believe it's 6 by 8 and the kids had drawn on a whole bunch of them but then didn't want to use them, so didn't want them to go to waste, so I used it for this. So here I'm just taking some bamboo, just like these bamboo sticks that I got from Amazon, and I'm going to glue them across this canvas. So here I'm just taking the bamboo stick and I'm going to measure it down to make sure that I get it the proper length. And I'm using my miter shears to cut. These things cut really easily. You could probably cut them with scissors as well. And in the end I end up using just like a razor knife, like a box cutter knife. So I just take my hot glue and I start lining them up and I go from one edge to the next. So at first I started doing it this way and I was cutting as I was going, and then I figured that it would be a lot faster if I just glued them on and then cut them. So that's what I started doing here. And I just kind of want to have this like a shiplap kind of feel or look to it. So you're going to do that the whole way. And then I just took, like I said, just like a little knife, craft knife or a box knife, and these things are so thin and very easy to cut, so you can just cut through a color, like score it a couple times and then just snap them off. So that's what I do here. And then I took a sanding block just to make sure that there's no jagged edges and try to get it as smooth as possible. So then I take this wax, oh I forget the name of it. It's Art Minds, I do believe. Normally I use Waverly, but I picked this up I think at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just watering that down a little bit so that it's a little thinner and goes on smoother, and I just put wax over the entire thing and then I wipe it back off. I don't know if you can hear the dog in the background, he's sneezing. Sorry about that. Okay, so then I went to my Cricut and I created a stencil. Now this is meant to look like a piece of wood. I think that this was already created inside of Cricut's design space. So I just went ahead and weeded that. And it's so pretty, and it says autumn at the bottom. So when you do a stencil, you want to kind of like reverse. You normally take out what, you know, like the autumn, I would actually take that part out, but because it's a stencil, I'm leaving the word in because I'm going to paint over top of that. So I just go ahead and varnish that to the Cricut transfer tape. And then I will apply it onto that little canvas. Now this did take some time, so I didn't show it on video, but you really want to make sure that that wax is dry. Okay, so then, sorry that was fast. That's the Waverly Ivory chalk paint. And then I'm just taking a stencil brush and I'm going in up and down motions throughout the entire thing. It's kind of sped up here, so sometimes it looks as if you're just kind of brushing back and forth, but I'm like pouncing. Oh, and then I took something, just a little thing that I had created before, and put it underneath of it because it's canvas and it's hollow underneath, so it just gave it some like firmness underneath when I was stenciling. So then I do that to the whole thing. And then I did take my heat gun. I don't think I show it on video, but I took my heat gun and dried it up a bit just to make sure that there was going to be no wet paint on my fingers so I wouldn't smudge it. And then I just go ahead and take the stencil out. I think it's so satisfying to watch. Okay, so then well, there was parts of it where it was kind of covering the stick, so I just took my Cricut tool and kind of scraped that out so you could see each individual stick. And then I took my sander and I just sanded that down a bit. I wanted it to look kind of old and weathered. So at first I was almost done with this, and then I ended up changing it up in the end. But here I took some ribbon. Now this I got in like a 5 or 6 pack at Walmart. I don't know, like a year or two ago. And I just go ahead and hot glue that to the back in case I do want to hang it. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I used the wax on all 4 edges as well of the canvas. So looking at it from any side, it looks like the wax is on there. Okay, so like I said, I was almost done, and then I didn't like it so much. So this is a pen that you use that makes it look as if the wood is burned. So I just took that pen that I got from Amazon. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box. And you just go over whatever it is that you want to make it look like the wood is burned, just like a pen. And then once you are done drawing on there, then you take your heat gun and you just put the heat gun real close to it, and as it heats up, it makes it look like the wood is burned. So I just went ahead and dabbed. There was, I don't know if I pushed too hard or if, I don't know, but I dabbed some of it off. And look how it changes, isn't that awesome? So you just use your heat tool and then you go over all the parts and it looks as if it's burnt. And the really cool thing about this, if you want it to be darker, then you can go back over that and just use the pen again and repeat the process, and it'll look like it's even darker. So there it is, all finished. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I should have added something else. I kept debating back and forth. So here I have a set of 3, I don't know what these are. Some type of, like a picture frame almost, it's like a shadow box kind of thing. But I picked these up at the Dollar General. I think they were $5 a piece, which is actually more than I was expecting them to be, but I did like them, so I picked them up. And they had some really pretty wood grain pattern on them as well. So I was going to paint them, but instead I ended up like basically creating a stain with this Mineral Waverly chalk paint. So I just added water to it. See that the pattern on the back is really pretty, and I wanted to be able to see that because at this point I couldn't decide if I was going to create this project from the front or the back. So I figured I would just stain the entire thing and we'll see what happens. You know, we just kind of craft as we go. Figure it out. So I just do the whole back and then I wipe it off. And so now it's got the gray color, but it also, you can still see the wood grain through it. And then I just do the inside edges, and then I do the inside as well. And I do this to all 3. I don't show you all 3, but I do paint or stain all 3 pieces. Okay, so this is, I also picked this up at the Dollar General. There was 3 of them, and it had the little tacks on there, and I just took them off, but I reassembled it to show you what it looked like. So at this point, I've decided that I was going to do the inside and create kind of like a shadow box. And all 3 photos, or like the metal piece there, they're all 3 different. There's a chicken, a pig, and a cow. And then I just take those tacks and I put them right back over the holes where they were originally. And again, I do this to all 3. So then I have some of this moss. I think I got it at the Dollar Tree. And I just cut it down to size so that I can fit it on the inside, like the lip of that shadow box, just so that it looks completely covered, because I ended up using Spanish moss, but I didn't want there to be, you know, anything kind of peeking through. So I hot glued that there to that bottom lip, and then I took my Spanish moss and I went on top of that, glued the Spanish moss on top of the green moss. I think it's called reindeer moss when it's green like that. So I went ahead and did that, and then I took my scissors just to trim it down. I don't like when things are falling all over the place. So I just trimmed it down a bit. And then I took some things that I had from last year, around the same time, fall time, and I started to glue them kind of at that bottom lip on top of the Spanish moss. And there's just little different things. There's pine cones, sunflowers, these little things that look like pumpkins. I think they're adorable. I do believe they're seeds, and they come in like a potpourri pack, or like this little, there's a little pack of all kinds of fall looking things at the Dollar Tree. I think it's over in the the floral section, but they're really cool. And they look like pumpkins, so I like them. And I put them on all kinds of stuff in the fall. Then I took some twine, and I thought it was kind of a little plain towards the top there, so I just wrapped it around, I believe 3 times on each one, just to give it a little something extra. So cute. So then I grabbed a whole bunch of stickers and things that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I was trying to figure out what to do on each one of them. I wanted to do all 3, but I just couldn't find anything that looked really good on all 3 of them, so I just took this one thankful sticker, and it had the same colors as the pumpkins, so I just put that there on the middle one. Oh, and then I took the lighter and kind of cleaned that twine up. It gets real fuzzy. So I clean that up, and then I start on the next 2. So here are the other 2. I did the same exact thing for all of them. I glued them in there, glued the tacks back, and then put that reindeer moss and then the Spanish moss on top. And again, I'm just going through my stash of my fall things from last year. And some I got some new stuff already this year, but I have so much. I'm trying to use it all up before I go and buy more, because I have way too much stuff. These little twig-length things, they were on that flower pick to the left hand side there with the orange, and I thought that they were kind of cute, so I glued them. And again, some more little pumpkins and pine cones, trying to make them look similar but also different at the same time. I am definitely going to go back to the Dollar Tree and get some more of those pumpkins. These little acorns that I got off of Amazon, I think they were only like $6 or so. I don't really like how shiny they are though, so I haven't used a whole bunch of them, but I do want to incorporate them into some of my projects this year. So I just take some of those, some of the pumpkins. I think I put a sunflower on this one. I think those acorns came in like a pack of 6, and then on each one was like 6 or 8 acorns. They're pretty cheap too. I think they were like $6 or $7. And off camera, I did mess around with stickers and rub-on transfers and things like that, but I just felt that it was it would be too much. So, but I did put the twine on all 3 of these. I actually made something almost identical to this, but it wasn't like a big white sign with the animal on it. It was just the animal that I think I got from the Dollar Tree or Dollar General actually. but I used flowers that were neutral so that I could hang them. They're actually sitting on a shelf in my living room, but with like white and purple flowers so they could be like year round. So, but these I wanted to be more specific to this season, to the fall season. So let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate you guys watching. Well, there's the last one. There you go. So there's all 3 completed. You can hang these on the wall or on the shelf. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Is that what it's supposed to say?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is Rachel's Rustics. Did you stop it?
You're supposed to keep going until I
Remember looking over here?